Can an influencer really become a boxer? Or does every internet celebrity who steps into the ring eventually face reality? In this video, we're taking a closer look at Jake Paul from his rise as a social media star to his controversial boxing career. Jake Paul is an American internet personality who first became famous through social media. For many people, his name is inseparable from his older brother, Logan Paul, one of the most well-known online creators in the world. Jake's career didn't start in sports or entertainment in the traditional sense. Instead, he built his audience online, first gaining traction during the Vine era with short, loud, and highly provocative videos.
You want some?
Yeah, man.
Go get it.
Oh, no!
Oh my.
When Vine shut down, Jake Paul successfully carried that momentum over to YouTube. His channel quickly grew through pranks, daily vlogs, and content that constantly pushed boundaries.
I basically have a pair of shoes here. I found them on the side of the road. Are these your shoes? I don't know if you can see them. I'm waving them out by your cameras.
Can you please get off my property?
Oh.
I'm gonna call the cops.
Okay.
For a long time, Jake Paul wasn't taken seriously. To most viewers, he was just another influencer chasing views. And then, almost unexpectedly, he announced a move that would completely change how people saw him. He was stepping into the boxing ring. When Jake Paul said he wanted to become a professional boxer, the reaction was almost universal disbelief. Many assumed it was a marketing stunt or a temporary gimmick. Very few believed this decision would turn into something real. But this moment marked the beginning of the most controversial chapter of his career. From the very start of his boxing career, Jake Paul faced heavy criticism. The idea that an influencer could compete in professional boxing felt wrong to many fans of the sport. Early on, critics argued that his opponents weren't real boxers, and that his fights were carefully selected to protect his image. However, behind the scenes, Jake Paul approached boxing with surprising seriousness. He trained with professional coaches, committed to full training camps, and adopted the discipline required to compete at a professional level. Over time, his performances in the ring began to change the conversation. Jake Paul fought a double-digit number of professional bouts, winning the majority of them, many by knockout. Stepped into the ring 14 times as a professional boxer, 12 wins and 2 losses. While debates around his opponent choices continued, one fact became increasingly difficult to ignore. Jake Paul was no longer just an influencer playing boxer. He was a licensed professional fighter who understood timing, power, and ring presence. Even his losses became part of his evolution. Instead of stepping away, Jake used setbacks to fuel his narrative of improvement. Slowly, audiences stopped tuning in just to mock him. They started watching to see what he would actually do next. And that growing curiosity led to one of the most talked about matchups of his career. The announcement of a fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson sent shockwaves through the boxing world. On one side stood Mike Tyson, a legendary figure, feared in his prime, a former champion who once dominated opponents with raw power and aggression. On the other side was Jake Paul, still carrying the label of YouTuber in the eyes of many. Public opinion leaned heavily in one direction. A large portion of fans believed experience would prevail, and that Tyson, despite his age, would simply be too much for Jake Paul to handle. The belief was simple. Legends don't lose to influencers. But when fight night arrived, the reality inside the ring wasn't so straightforward. Tyson was still dangerous, but age, endurance, and pace began to play a role as the rounds progressed. Jake Paul, younger and more active, managed to control key moments of the fight. By the end of the match, Jake Paul emerged as the winner. That result immediately sparked controversy. Questions flooded social media and boxing forums alike. Was Jake Paul actually better than people expected? Did Tyson lose simply because of age? Was it a matter of timing and conditioning? Or were there financial and promotional factors behind the scenes that influenced the outcome? After defeating Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was no longer discussed as a novelty. His next challenge came in the form of a truly elite opponent, Anthony Joshua. Unlike previous matchups, Joshua was a proven heavyweight powerhouse, a former world champion with multiple titles and a reputation for strength, control, and discipline inside the ring. This fight was widely seen as Jake Paul's ultimate test. From the opening bell, it became clear that this would be different. In the early rounds, Jake relied on movement and speed, constantly changing angles and trying to stay unpredictable. Joshua, however, remained calm and composed, controlling the center of the ring and waiting patiently for his opportunity. As the fight progressed, the intensity increased. Joshua began cutting off the ring more effectively, limiting Jake's escape routes. Then, in the 6th round, everything changed. Joshua trapped Jake Paul against the ropes and unleashed a powerful combination. With nowhere left to move, Jake absorbed several heavy shots before going down in a knockout. The aftermath of the fight was even more serious. Reports confirmed that Jake Paul suffered fractures in his jaw, required surgery, and had multiple teeth removed as a result of the damage. It was a brutal reminder that professional boxing offers no protection based on fame or popularity. This wasn't just a loss. It was a moment that exposed the true cost of stepping into the ring with elite-level fighters. Still, Jake Paul's willingness to take these risks deserves respect, and many now hope to see him continue his career by facing even tougher opponents going forward. Jake Paul's story isn't only about wins or losses, it's about perception, ambition, and what happens when internet fame collides with real-world consequences. What do you think? Is Jake Paul a legitimate boxer, or did he simply find success at the right moment against the right opponents? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content like this. See you in the next one.